Hello everyone, welcome back to Sim Auctions. So for this video, we are going to be playing game 5 of the World Series between Teddy Willard's team and Nick Malatesnik's team. So again, these are two teams that were the top two teams in the most recent Sim Auction that we played. So far we are tied 2-2 in this World Series. Teddy won the first game 6-4. And Nick came back with a 13-2 shellacking of Vern Law. And then Nick came won 3-1 with a huge late game comeback in game 3. And then Teddy came right back and won 5-3 in game 4. So we are all tied 2-2. Very close, as you would expect. These two teams were very evenly matched in the Sim Auction World Series. So we are pretty much getting the same results here in the traditional format. So here we go. In this game, it's a rematch of the game 1 starters, Bob Friend and John Tudor. So let's open up the game and let's see what happens in game 5. You know what, everybody? I noticed I made a mistake here. So it looks like I fast played game 6. Let me pull up that box score. So instead of usually in the APBA program, I would have had the option to play one game as a spectator. Instead, I picked this option here, which actually simmed game 5. So let me pull up that box score so everybody can see what happened there. And then we'll get into the actual inning by inning play of game 6. So let's take a look at game 5 here. So it looks like Nick's team pulled off a victory. So now Nick actually leads 3-2 in the series. Let's take a look here. What happened with Teddy's team first? So it looks like Nick's team out-hit Teddy's team 10-8, and of course scored 5 runs compared to Teddy's 3. So let's see. Let's take a look at Nick's team first. Wow, Jermaine Dye hits 2 home runs. Hatterberg hits 1. So Dye looks like was the star of the game for Nick's team. 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Don Hoke with 3 hits. And then on Teddy's side, no homers. Let's see. We can ignore this here. I have it set up so that players are only factored for fatigue, but not for injuries. So Iglesias is still available. But no homers on Nick's team, 3 compared to no homers on Teddy's team, 3 on Nick's team. So that is the margin of victory, really, if you think about it. And then on the pitching side, let's see. Bob Friend pitches a complete game, even though, again, Teddy would have had like Joaquin Benoit, a grade 19 to bring in, or even Roy Face, who's a grade 14, the same as Bob Friend. So that's a surprise that Teddy's team would not have gone to the bullpen, considering that Friend did not pitch a great game. 10 hits, 2 walks. On Nick's side, Tudor pitches a nice game, 3 earned runs and 8 hits. Bradford, who seems to be the favorite pitcher for Buck Miller too, Nick's manager, comes in for an inning, and then Raleigh Fingers closes it out. And again, a grade 18 reliever is just kind of sitting on the bench for Nick's team doing nothing. So I am not sure what the aversion is of Buck Miller to using Jay Howell, but this particular game would have been the perfect game for him to have used him in. So, but anyway, I was a little bit too quick there and fast sim this game, and that's why you won't see the play-by-play of each inning. But the final tally is Nick wins 5-3. Nick now leads 3-2. And now let's get back to game 6, which is definitely a do-or-die game for Teddy's team. Clutch home run by Infante ties it up. And again, this is a do or die game for Teddy's team. He trails 3 games to 2. So if Nick wins, it's all over. Huge play by Shelby. If that ball drops, that could be 2 runs in. Also, I don't know if you noticed, Verlander's grade went up by 1. He's now a 13. In APBA, sometimes if a pitcher gets a clutch strikeout, he gets a 1 grade bump. So from a 12 to a 13. That doesn't seem significant, but that actually is significant. Oh, big rally working here. Nick just already scored a run, leads 2-1. Second and third, nobody out. Vern Law not pitching well. He was ineffective in game two, and looks like he's carried that over into game six. And Jay Howell is still sitting on the bench for Teddy's for actually no, Jay Howell is on Nick's team. Never mind. But Teddy's team has Benoit, who I think has only been used one inning in this series. Benoit could come in to try to stop this fire here that's happening, but so far Buck Miller wants to keep Law in there. There's also Roy Face in the bullpen as well. So Teddy's manager has options, but it looks like he's going to stick with Law. Tejada with a huge triple now puts Nick ahead 4-1. Um, and again, inquiring minds want to know what is Teddy's manager thinking? Vern Law does not appear to have it. Why are we not bringing in someone from the bullpen? Right, that could have been worse. All right, it looks like Teddy's team has a rally. He needs three to tie, second and third, nobody out. And again, I'll bring it up. Nick's bullpen, in a deciding game, you have to be aggressive. He's got Jay Howell, Fingers in the bullpen, a few others as well. Actually, let's take a quick look at exactly what Nick has over there. Uh, Hal, this I means he's itchy, which is means he hasn't been used. Now the problem there is that when you have this I itchy qualifier, it means that his grade 18 could be less when he comes into the game, could be more. It depends. But that's a factor because he simply hasn't been used in the series. So he's been allowed to get itchy. Fingers, grade 16. Obviously, he's been great. Bradford has been used often, but he's only a grade 11. Veras, who's actually probably a little bit better than Bradford, he's also itchy, a grade 13. Orozco's a grade 14, but he's got a W, which means he gives up walks. The point is that there are options in Nick's bullpen if Verlander starts to struggle. And right now, he's got second and third. He's given up some hits here, so this could be a time to consider taking him out and replacing him with a bullpen arm. And the question is, what in the world is Felipe Hernandez waiting for? Verlander seems to be losing it. Already given up 2 runs, bases loaded, nobody out. If there was ever a time to take Verlander out of the game, it would be now. Or you could say that the time has already passed. Let's see if Felipe decides to keep riding Verlander, who apparently has lost it. Right, Teddy's team takes the lead. Verlander gives up 4 runs. In my opinion, Felipe Hernandez should have acted aggressively there to bring in a bullpen arm, but We'll see if keeping Verlander in there was the right play or not. But right now, Teddy's team takes the lead in a must-win game, 5-4. So Knicks manager finally pulls Verlander, maybe a few batters too late, and he brings in his favorite reliever to bring in, Chad Bradford. And again, Jay Hall, grade 18, still sitting on the bench. 0 innings pitched, and we are halfway, almost the whole way through game 6. That's inexcusable. So it makes sense that Teddy's manager goes to the bullpen here, brings in Roy Face. Uh, the thing is, he's got a grade 19, Joaquin Benoit, also in the bullpen, who I believe has only pitched one inning this series. So to me, that would have been the better option. Again, this is a must-win game for Teddy, an elimination game. So why not bring in your higher graded reliever at this point? So we'll see if that's the right move or not. Face is a good reliever, but he's not a grade 19. In my opinion, some very questionable bullpen moves um, by both managers. So here we are, top of the eighth, elimination game. If Nick wins, he could win the series. So Felipe Hernandez brings in Vieras, who is normally a grade 13. The problem was, as I mentioned earlier, he's itchy. So when you're itchy, when you have that designation, you could come into the game either a little higher or a little lower than your normal grade. In this case, it's 5 points lower than the normal grade. Now, if Nick's team didn't have any options, no big deal. But there is an option. You have a grade 18 that hasn't pitched a single inning yet. So we'll see if that was the right move or not. Here we go, tying run on first base. He does have speed. So let's see what happens here. Nick's team needs one to tie, or we go to a game seven. So that's the right move. Holton had been used in consecutive games, so he wasn't rested, but he was ready. His grade went down from a 20 to a 15. Um, Teddy's manager, Buck Miller, has Benoit sitting in the bullpen, so he brings him in. Benoit is a grade 19. So Teddy's deep bullpen definitely coming into play in this game. Wow, huge pickoff off second. Um, again, can't that just can't happen. You're the tying run. You just cannot be picked off second. So here we go. We go to a game seven. Nick's team has made two crucial bad plays on the field. I believe in game four, Tejada was picked off first. He would have been the tying run. And now the possible tying run here at second gets picked off as well. Mazeroski with a bad play. So here we go. Teddy's team wins 5-4. This is going to push us to a game seven. Let's take a look at the box score for this game. So Nick's team out hits Teddy's team 11-9, but what counts is over here on the run column. Teddy wins 5-4. Let's see. Teddy had one homer. That was from Infante. Infante had a nice game. He also had another hit. So two hits, a homer, and an RBI. Ellis with a couple of hits as well. And Kessinger, who I believe that was his first start, gets a couple of hits. Let's see. On Nick's side, no home runs. Nick leaves seven men on base. And in terms of his best hitters, it would have been Tejada with two hits and three RBIs. Mazeroski also had three hits. But again, it's not the number of hits, it's the number of runs that matter. On the pitching side, for Teddy, Vanslaw didn't really pitch that well. And I mentioned earlier, I thought he should have been taken out of that game earlier. But it all worked out in the end. Teddy's bullpen pitch, let's see, 2 2/3 of scoreless relief. So that strong bullpen came through. On Nick's side, I thought it was a huge mistake to leave Verlander in there as long as Felipe Hernandez did. I would have gone to, again, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but Jay Howell, grade 18, has not pitched a single inning in 6 games. This game would have been a perfect opportunity to bring him in when Verlander was showing some stress. That didn't happen, and I think that was the difference in this game. All right, so I will be playing through game 7 shortly and posting it. Please come back and take a look at an exciting game 7.